Yeah, hi there. And these comments are for Manan. And you say in the email you sent me, you were one of my students, I think, last month. So you say I have good news and bad news. So the good news is you got 26 on the speaking. Wow. And that's good. I mean, I'm surprised. You had a good day. I had some doubts about the speaking, but you pulled it off. You achieved your goal. You need to maintain your speaking, but you didn't score as high as you needed on the reading, so you got 15 points in the reading section, right? So you said, I have to reappear for the exam. If you can guide me on how I should proceed. The main thing is you have to be patient. To go from 15 points to say 22 or 23 points, you're looking at seven or 8 points here. You're probably looking at 3 months minimum in order to get that reading up to where it needs to be so that you will get the score that you're trying to get. That's the first thing. The question is, do you have 3 months? Are you trying to do this all in 30 days? In my opinion, it's not a good idea. I recommend 3 months of good solid practice before you can reach your goal of getting, say, 22 or 23 on the speaking section. Alright, so let's talk about it. You got 5 things. There's 5 things that you need to do in order to improve your reading abilities of English. So I will talk about them in order. Number 1 is vocabulary. You need to build your vocabulary. You need to study more words. In the vocabulary part of my course, you can take a look at vocabulary lesson number 3, learn those words first, then learn the words in vocabulary lesson number 4, then number 5, and number 6. That gives you 1,700 college level words. If you can learn those words, your life is going to change. Number 2, in addition to studying vocabulary, you need to keep reading every day for about 45 minutes. A lot of people ask me, why is 45 minutes the optimum time to read? Because a lot of times I've read a lot of research, and the research indicates that if you try to read for 1 hour or 2 hours, that's typically too long to do it without stopping. I'm saying read for 45 minutes without taking any breaks at all. And the research indicates that you begin to build your speculative thinking and critical thinking abilities if you can discipline yourself to read for that period of time. You will get some benefits from that. So that's your next step. You say that you read nonfiction books. That's great. That's a good start. I have 2 other suggestions. Magazines and also newspapers. So read nonfiction books, read as many as you can. You can also read newspapers, and you can, of course, you can read newspapers, magazines, and books. All right, number 3, you need to improve your reading speed. This is very, very important. Your goal is to get your reading speed up to about 300 words per minute with 60 to 80% comprehension. The reading part of my course has 70 speed reading tests that can help you improve your reading speed from 100 to 350 words per minute. That's your next goal, is to get that reading speed up. You're consistently reading at about 300 words per minute. That's also going to be very important, believe it or not. Faster readers have better comprehension than slower readers, because faster readers, they can concentrate on the information better because they have fewer distractions. When you're reading really, really slowly, Manon, you have a lot of distraction in the brain, so you have to read a little bit faster in order to do that. Number 4, you also need to become familiar with the IBT reading question types and the strategies for answering them. So you can go to my website, to the reading section, and I do talk about all the different question types and the strategies for answering them. Now, my recommendation is to supplement the reading section. I recommend that you use a TOEFL book to also work on your reading. So if you have Barron's TOEFL Preparation, that's a good book. If you have the Cambridge Preparation Course for the TOEFL IBT by Jolene and Robert Gere, that's a great one. That will give you some really good practice with reading. So get a TOEFL book, and you can start doing reading practice in that book also. Now, my 5th suggestion is to take TOEFL level reading practice tests. You can do this if you have a TOEFL book, is what I suggest. You can also, of course, if you go to my website, I do have some section-specific TOEFL exams that you can take in the 8th section of my course. It does cost some additional money, but if you want to get a practice test and complete it online, and then that simulates the actual TOEFL IBT reading test-taking conditions, that's also going to be very helpful. So that's pretty much what you have to do, Manon. The problem is you can't exactly get all these results in just 30 days. So my recommendation is follow my 5 tips, my 5 steps in improving your reading comprehension. Reading every day for 45 minutes, studying vocabulary, improving your reading speed, becoming more familiar with the question types and the strategies for answering them. You can also take TOEFL level reading practice tests. That's my 5th suggestion. If you can do those 5 things over a period of about 3 months, my prediction is, no, I might be wrong, and I'm not God, I can't say everything, but I have had students who follow these 5 things. They tell me that in about 90 days they improve their score about 7 points. So if you can at least get to 22 points in 3 months, to me that would be really, really good progress. Alright, you see my suggestions? So anyway, thank you very much. Hang in there. As you have more questions, send me an email. So for you right now, it's probably a good idea. You should be spending a lot of your time in the speaking and the reading actually the vocabulary and the reading sections of my course. Now, just for practice, I think maybe once a week you should keep doing speaking and writing practice tests. So maybe once a week, send me a speaking practice test. You can complete it at my VoxyPop discussion group. Your username's still good. And then you can also do some writing practice tests as well. Alright, anyway, thank you very much, and I'm glad to have you again as a student, and all the best to your high-scoring TOEFL success.